What do you know about gold? I knew nothing about gold till I met David Garofalo. And look who's in studio today. David Garofalo, of course, the chairman and CEO of Gold Royalty Corp. So great to see you.
Good to see you.
You are as handsome as you are on television.
You're too kind.
I want you to talk about, before we get into Gold Royalty Corp. By the way, they are publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. GROY is their ticker symbol. GROY. So, with respect to, we're hearing Fed Chair Jerome Powell dropping half a percentage point, going from, I think, a 5.3 to a 4.7 or something like that in terms of short-term discount window rates. You're seeing, they're saying inflation's going down, but the CPI doesn't include food and gas. And if you merge that with the fact that gold is a great hedge against inflation, plus we have numbness to prices. They're saying inflation's going down, but prices are still high. Gold is the place to hide out, I'm assuming, still, in your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a barometer, an agnostic, objective one of where real inflation is. The reason it's going up is because inflation is still going up. It's still sticky. They're pivoting on interest rates simply because they've got massive debt to deal with. It's not a Federal Reserve phenomenon. It's a global phenomenon across central banks globally. So they're going to lower interest rates to inflate that away. Gold prices will continue to go up as a result of that.
Every time we've pushed money flow into the system, going back to 1940, and in this case we're talking about stimulus that we got during COVID. We probably got too many. But if you look at a point and figure chart where money flow pops into the market, interest rates follow literally right behind, and inflation as well. There are those that say gold is not a hedge against inflation, but also they're and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, although I have conspiracy theory music.
Oh, I like it.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, however, I
win.
You are old.
I win.
You are old. You win gold. The fact that I think that some of the stuff that we're hearing is manufactured for the election on both sides of the equation. And I think that's why you say they say inflation is going down, but it's not really going down.
No.
Is it without getting political? Is it of your opinion that there's always a grain or two of mistruth that comes out in some of these numbers that we're hearing every week?
Yeah, look, and I think it's really driven by the debt levels. I think there's no fiscally responsible way for any government to deal with these debt levels, and it doesn't matter who wins this election. The government's hooped either way. And they're going to have to continue to ease monetary policy. In other words, expand money supply in order to deal with debt.
On the big screen here, you're going to see usdebtclock.org, and you're talking about debt. It looks like a speedometer here. There it is right behind you, David. And you know, if you talk about debt per citizen, that means little babies and everybody. $104,000, 950%. Debt per taxpayer. And then, of course, we've got $35 trillion in U.S. national debt. Now, keep in mind, some of that's people buying U.S. savings bonds and so on and so forth. But you're talking about that kind of debt. But there's also the debt that people are carrying on their credit cards, which is at an all-time low during COVID, but now is somewhere else. Talk about the reason I like to start off with a top-down picture with you guys is because you guys are at the top of the food chain in terms of the gold business. And what I mean by that is you guys are basically a financial institution for the mining industry. Talk about what Gold Royalty does for the folks who haven't seen you on the air before.
Yeah, we are. We're a bank that's singularly focused on the precious metal universe, providing capital to the explorers, the developers, and operators to build, optimize, explore for mines in an industry that frankly doesn't have access to the capital markets right now and hasn't for a good part of a decade. And so it's been a nuclear winter for the explorers, and we're providing capital for them. And the industry needs us to do that because it's shrinking. Now, that's why we've seen so much M&A across the producer universe is if you're not finding it, you're going to have to buy it, you're going to have to consolidate with other companies. But that's a zero-sum game for the industry. Like, we need exploration success to replace depleting reserves.
David, you guys, at the same time we're talking about inflation, you guys provide insulation to investors from cost inflation. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, we're all top-line exposure. So when we put capital into an asset, mine, either a producing mine or a development stage mine, we take a royalty back in return, but the royalty's on gross revenues, top line. So it doesn't matter what happens to the operating or capital costs at the mine site. We give optimum leverage to the gold price without worrying about cost inflation. Very scalable business, and we have a few of our employees here today. Half of our company is here today. It's a very small group of highly experienced professionals that are able to put capital to work with assets they understand.
David Garofalo, Chairman, CEO, Gold Royalty Corp.
Is he saying it wrong, Mike? Is it Garofalo?
It's Garofalo.
Is that what
You
you're
said it right?
I wanted to say Garofalo.
I know you did.
Or go Gar.
And you're going to say, David, you're saying your last name wrong.
Exactly.
I nailed you.
Their ticker symbol is GROY. We were talking about the geologics before the show. Have we even tapped into how much gold is on our Earth, in our Earth? Are we getting
Isn't it
there?
2 Olympic-sized swimming pools? Isn't that
I thought that was platinum. Or
No, it's gold. I mean, if you took all the gold mined, it's about 200,000 metric tons. It's been mined since the beginning of time. All of it is on the Earth's surface. It's around people's fingers and wrists and whatnot in central bank vaults.
Okay.
It's indestructible, so it's always been around, but it's a very minute quantity. Volumetrically, a couple Olympic-sized swimming pools, not a lot. So you can imagine even a small reallocation of capital in general equity markets would move the gold price astronomically higher.
I got to ask you, as a top line, highest on the food chain in gold mining, in the gold mining business, how do rising gold prices even affect you? I mean, you are sort of like the laundromat, the liquor store during a recession. They're still going to make money either way. Aren't you making money either way, whether prices go up or down?
Yeah, absolutely, because we have a very low cost structure. Like I said, half of our company's here, so we have very low G&A costs. And so virtually all of the dollar in revenue falls right to the bottom line, so regardless of where the gold price is. So we have a remarkable inelasticity of supply to price or cash flows to price, but we have a lot of leverage on the upside, and I think that's the important thing here.
David, we were talking about when we first started interviewing, breaking into free cash flow in 2024. Has that happened for you?
Yeah, it has. In fact, we had the first 2 quarters of positive operating cash flow earlier this year, and we're going into overdrive in the second half of the year with a couple of major new gold mines coming into production and resulting in significant revenue growth in the second half of the year. And we're looking at...
Wait. You're talking about sector-leading gold mines, too. We're not just talking about gold mines, correct?
Yeah, we have royalties on 3 of the 5 biggest producing gold mines in North America. And these each have 20 years plus of reserve life ahead of them. So we have that foundational element to our business, which is kind of unique for a small cap player in the space.
So in your mind, and we got just about 45 seconds left here, in your mind, what is next for you in the last quarter of 2024? In so much as you can tell us as a CEO, what are you looking forward to most for 2025 after that?
Yeah, we're looking at free cash flow growth, positive earnings growth, 60% compounded growth in revenue through the end of the decade, and all that incremental revenue falls right to the bottom line because our cost structure is flat.
Yeah, meaning that we're in the wrong business is what that is. David, thanks for coming in. It's great to see you come in anytime in the studio. We're going to be following the stock for a while here. David Garofalo, Chairman and CEO, Gold Royalty Corp. Stock symbol GROY. Does it make you? Do you wear gold, Mike, other than the Italian chain with the
horn?
Yeah.
No, that's it. That's the only gold I have.
The gold pinky ring?
Yeah.
I know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah.
His name is Garofalo. Big Biz Show. BigBizShow.com. See you in a minute.